All right, folks, buckle up, lean on back, and grab some popcorn. It was a big night of high school football right here on the Grand Strand. Ranked teams going toe-to-toe. Out in the PD, rivalries renewed. This is the End Zone. I'm your host, Brandon Dunn. Casey Hintz will join us in just a few minutes as we start things off with a rivalry in the making years down the road. But I tell you what, tonight was the night everyone thought was going to be last year, but due to Hurricane Florence, the game was canceled. 2 years in the making. Myrtle Beach, ranked number 1, the defending state champs in Class 4A, taking on Carolina Forest, arguably their best team in school history. Both teams perfect to date. It is the ABC 15 End Zone Game of the Week. And here come those Panthers looking to remain perfect, hoping to knock off that young man and the Seahawks. Luke Doty and company, here they come. How would the hype handle for both teams? Well, to start things off, the Panthers defense comes up big. Luke Doty with the interception. You don't see that very often. It leads to a Mason Garcia touchdown. And just like that, yeah, the Black Hole and company up 7-3 after a few possessions later. Panthers offense off and running again. Brown takes the handoff. He finds pay dirt, and it's 14-3 Carolina Forest. Oh, yeah, they're up and looking good. Panthers all over the Seahawk defense. How would they respond, though? On the ensuing kickoff, Xavier Knox finds a hole, hits the sideline, jukes the kicker, and you're not going to catch him. Number 1 all the way in for 6. Talk about swinging the momentum. 14-10 Panthers, and the next 2 minutes were quite interesting. Panthers next would fumble. That would set up a Luke Doty touchdown to Darius Hugh. Up for the grab. That combo working all night long. And at the half, the Seahawks led 23-14. Seahawks pick up right where they left off to start the second half. Doty back to another strike to number 88. That touchdown there extends the lead to 36-14. But here comes Mason Garcia, the ECQ commit, not going to let his team go out without a fight. He looked like he fumbled it, then he airs one out, and look who's on the other end of that one. Josh Murphy walks it in, and just like that, my friends, it's 36-28. The ball game still very much in doubt. That is until J.J. Jones puts this one to bed on that beautiful throw by Luke Doty. And just like that, Myrtle Beach goes on to win this one 43-28 over Carolina Forest. The hype was real. Both of these teams left it all out on the field as the Seahawks improved to 3-0, dropping the Panthers to 2-1. Myrtle Beach, well, they are going to be back home next week. First time they will be at home all season long as they prepare to take on Conway in the Liberty Bell. Yeah, that's for the Victory Bell, excuse me. That will be the Friday Night Lights game of the week, so a 7:05 start next week at Doug Shaw Memorial. As for Carolina Forest, back on the road as they will travel to Loras to take on Jamie Schneider and those Lions. But this one, after it was all said and done, was the Seahawks game as they prevail tonight in the ABC 15 End Zone Game of the Week. And that's where we find Casey Hintz with Mickey Wilson and those Seahawks. Casey?
Hey, thanks so much, Brandon. That's right. I'm now joined by the winners of tonight's game. Of course, Myrtle Beach Seahawks taking care of Carolina Forest as they improve to 3-0 on the season. Boys, how's that sound? Yeah! Guys, well, it was a hard-fought game. Carolina Forest, I mean, they put up a fight. Obviously, we're going to get to that momentum swing, but first, after when you addressed the team, Coach, you know, you said they fought through adversity, and that's exactly the kind of game that we talked about earlier. There was going to be a playoff-type atmosphere. Just, you know, what was the difference tonight for you guys?
Well, I think the biggest thing, we knew coming over here it was going to be a tough football game. With all of our inner experience, I was really proud of our guys for battling through adversity. That's something we've been preaching all week and talking about. Just really proud. It was a great win. Carolina Forest has a very good football team.
All right, thank you very much, Casey. Congratulations, Mr. Huff. Fantastic game by that young man, number 88, the difference maker tonight for those Seahawks in the win over Carolina Forest. How about the number 3 team in Class 4A, North Myrtle Beach, perfect on the year, entertaining the Socastee Braves off to Little River, and here comes the Blue Machine. First quarter action, Cameron Freeman in at quarterback, and he takes this and he's going to rumble all the way down to Socastee 3-yard line, following his blockers, and that sets an opportunity for the Chiefs to plow one in, but they're stuffed. They bring in Zane Smith, and he is automatic. The all-zone prospect up and true. He could have hit that one from 40. 3-0 North Myrtle Beach with 9 minutes to go, first half. Few minutes later, Freeman keeping the ball and pounds his way in for the touchdown. And the Chiefs are on the board as they extend their lead to 10-0. Zane Smith, he had another good night as he hits yet this. And this one would be all North Myrtle Beach. They shut out Socastee. 26-0, the final from Little River, as the Chiefs go to 4-0 on the season. Matter of fact, according to my main man, Wayne White, the Chiefs have won 20 consecutive non-region games. That right there, my friends, is impressive. They go into a bye feeling good. I know that Matt Reel, though, knows that his team has some work to do before they begin action in region play. As for Socastee, they'll return back to the reservation next week as they will welcome the Bulldogs from Georgetown up to Socastee. All right, West Florence and Camden. Man, this game was fantastic. All the way to the wire, battle of undefeateds. And look who it is that starts off the action. None other than George Floyd, the quarterback, in for 6. And the Knights were up early on, looking good, 7-3. Then it's more from West Florence. This time it is Nike Johnson. Beats everyone in the house. He checks it in for an extra deuce. This one back and forth, but Camden would prevail as West Florence falls for the first time this season. 31-29, back and forth this one goes, but it's West who falls tonight as Camden win this one by 2. Knights go to 3-1 as they return back home next week to entertain the Wilson Tigers, who had a bye this week. Wilson perfect on the year. West Florence with their first loss, but hey, this is a rivalry game. This is for the Battle of Florence. Wilson's already defeated South Florence. West and South will meet later on in the season. We'll see how things go next Friday. St. James, one of the surprise teams of the season. 2-1 on the year, going down to Georgetown. Could the Sharks win this one on the road? A very tough place to play is Georgetown, but hey, you know, Ethan White leading the troops down the field sets up an interesting situation here when Deontay Stanfield takes it in, and the Sharks are up 7-0 early on. Bulldogs having trouble getting things going on the offensive side as well. Gethers couldn't find his way upfield. Georgetown gives the ball back to the Sharks. Solid defense. Next drive, Malcolm Butler. Yeah, he's going to run strong, big, and into the house. Follows his blockers, gets down inside the 20. Big run there. First down opportunity a few plays later. This time, Ethan White takes it in himself. He decides to go in for 6. That is good. 14-0 Sharks, and they win it 42-7. St. James, 3-1. Coach Norwood has that team ticking. He's pushing all the right buttons as this team is well on their way to having a nice year down in Murrells Inlet. We'll see if they can continue that next week as they will entertain Aner, the 10th-ranked Blue Jackets, coming down to Murrells Inlet. As for Georgetown, we just alluded to that. They will head to Socastee next Friday. Marlboro County and South Florence. Bruins still looking for that first win. They've gotten close several times this season, but they also know, too, that this is just the preseason. It's all about region play, which for them will begin here shortly. They know tonight, though, it would be a stiff opportunity, but if they could beat the Bulldogs from Marlboro County, that would give them momentum. On the flip side, the Bulldogs also know that they could come to Memorial and knock off the Bruins. That would give them all kinds of momentum. This one was a back-and-forth affair as we head out to the highlights. We get things going with Marlboro County looking to get their offense going, but that right there, my friends, is called an interception. Sellers making things work as Braxton Samuel comes up with the interception, and then Sellers keeps it himself and runs himself in for a touchdown, and that puts South Florence up 14-3 on Marlboro County. So they huddle up. Coach Prince says, boys, we still got a long way to go. This one ain't over, and it wasn't. Marlboro County answers the bell. The nice pitch and catch. The Bulldogs running it down. Finally brought down, but not before they're inside the 5-yard line. This time, McLaren getting the rock, finding a hole, and finding himself 6. That right there would pull this game to within 14-10 as the Bulldogs were just down 4. But Sellers and company would go to work and put this one to bed. That touchdown there sealed it. The Bruins win it. They hold on to beat Marlboro County 20-17 to grab their first dub of the year, going to 1-3. Momentum builder, as I just alluded to. This is an opportunity for this team to get to where they need to go as they go to the Nest next week to take on Darlington with hopes of racking up their second consecutive before they start region play. As for Marlboro County, they go back home, correct some issues, and prepare themselves to take on the #1 team in Class 3A in the Dillon Wildcats. Rivalry game next week at Dillon Memorial Stadium. Speaking of South Florence, the man, the myth, the legend, joining us live now, David Prince, head coach of the Bruins. Hey, my friend, nice win tonight. You are the legend, buddy. Hey, let me tell you, that was a great win, especially when you guys had to battle back. That just proves that this team has the guts to go out there, show what they need to do to grab a big win over a quality program.
Yeah, you know, we know we've got a talented group. We've just kind of had to convince them of it. We're excited that we got that one tonight.
What do you think this game and this opportunity proves for you and this club?
Well, you know, we played a tough preseason schedule or non-conference schedule. We just feel like we had to get some kind of momentum going before we got to region play, and hopefully that started it for us tonight.
Parks has been on the shelf, but the guy that you had replacing him under center has done well. What do you see Parks' role moving forward with pretty much an established guy already under center and knowing what you already have there?
Why do you have to ask me the tough questions after a win, Brandon?
Hey, because I don't have you.
No,
I don't have you very often. I got to ask you the hard ones, my friend.
Yeah, you know, Shalik is still he's still trying to, you know, get things going in practice and get enough reps under his belt where he feels comfortable making plays on the field. We got him a series in there tonight, just trying to get his feet wet a little bit, and we're going to play it by ear as we go. And you know, we're going to competition's a good thing at that position.
You know, you look at the teams in your region. You'll start region here in a couple of weeks. You look at Carolina Forest, what they're doing right now. West Florence going on the road, losing a tough one to Camden at their place. You look at some other teams in that region. When you look at just how this region stacks up, what is it that you think your team can accomplish against some pretty big opponents coming up over the next month or so?
Well, you know, one thing that we're preaching our guys is we've got to control the things that we can control. We can control our effort. We can control our attitude. We can control our work ethic. We can't control other teams. But, you know, we just want to be in the mix when the playoffs come around, and that's our goal every year.
All right, last question, my friend. Going over to the Nests next week to take on Darlington. Of course, they're having their struggles, but nevertheless, you still have to go on the road and play 4 quarters to pick up a win. How do you see next week playing out?
Well, the first thing we've got to do is go back to work and cut out a lot of mistakes. We probably had 20 penalties tonight, if I had to guess. We're still getting in our own way quite a bit, and we've got to eliminate that and start focusing on trying to beat the other team instead of just having to beat ourselves. So we've got a lot of work in that category, and we're going to continue to try to iron out the wrinkles.
All right, my friend, I'm going to take you out of the frying pan, let you go home, get some rest. I'm sure you'll be back at the office tomorrow watching film because I know that's how you guys work. So enjoy this one, Coach. Good luck and nice win tonight. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, Brandon.
All right, buddy. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more scores and highlights. Hartsville at home. We have those highlights and much more. Speaking of Darlington, those as well. The End Zone is rolling on week 4 when we return.